So when I first started investing in 2018, 2019, I was a lost sheep and barely knew anything about the stock market because I was all in crypto because crypto stonks. And this became a problem when crypto went into a bear market, and because I have a friend which is the Uncle Chan, he kind of showed me stuff about the stock market, and the rest was really trial and error until I found out something that worked for me. So if you're starting out in investing, do keep in mind that this is a very personal journey, and what you invest in or how you invest will be very different because of your lifestyle, your financial background, and the people around you. So in today's video, I want to talk about how I got started, what I use, and most importantly, the advantages that you guys have over me. I have got a bit outside here. It hurts a lot. So truth be told, my investing journey into the stock market isn't something like getting rich with crypto and then funneling money to stocks. Although crypto did help a little bit, but the majority of my capital still came from working in a day job and saving up for money. So when I first started investing, the hardest thing to do was to cut back on expenses, because as a young adult, you want to enjoy life, you want to have fun, and you also want to socialize, because what would life be without those?
Is life about a little fun?
But as you grow older and mature, you'll start to realize that if you do not start saving and investing, you might be in for a pickle.
Pickle Rick!
So to cut down on expenses, one of the easiest things to do is to stop purchasing expensive coffee or drinks from the outside, but to fill out your water bottle and opt for a healthier sky juice, or more commonly known as plain water. So the first advantage you have, that it is free from the water cooler in your office, which I guess most offices do, and secondly, it's much more healthier for you. But then if you really need that caffeine to charge you and to get through your day, consider cheaper or free caffeine that may exist in your office pantry. So this might be really hard in the beginning, but imagine having a $2 coffee a day over a period of 20 working days. That can save you roughly $40, which can be sort of put into a small investment that can pay you money over time. And once you're successful in reducing your expenses, you start to see your savings rate increase, which is ideally something that we want to happen. But the best case scenario here is that you have enough savings for 3 to 6 months of your salary, which is like a safety float that can tide you through tough times like recession or retrenchment. So now we've got the savings part all settled, the next thing you want to think about is how to maximize your income. So maximizing your income can come in various forms, like changing a new job, picking up a side hustle, or even starting a small home-based business. So the main purpose of maximizing your income is to allow you to provide more saving power, which allows you to hit your 3 to 6 months safety float, and then allows you to invest more, which can ultimately grow your investments faster over time. The faster you hit your savings float, the more you can put into investment and achieving your financial goals that we'll cover in the next point. So right now, this might seem pretty achievable and easy to do, but it does take time to figure out what your side hustle could be. So for me, I do enjoy doing YouTube videos like this, and I do enjoy taking photographs on the weekend as well. So once in a while, I do get some gigs for some small photo shoot that gets me about $100 a weekend, and if I do get additional booking, I get a little bit more. But then again, these gigs do not come every single week or every single day, so that is something to keep in mind, because some months I might have more bookings and some months I might have zero, which then makes things pretty unstable.
Unstable? They said unstable?
Yeah. So what I do with the money that I earn from my side hustles is to put them into my investments straight away. So this way, I do not have the opportunity to look at it and think twice if I should have a luxurious meal just because I've completed a side gig. And truth be told, this is very tiring, and essentially I'm working maybe 6-7 days a week if I have double bookings, but it's a small sacrifice that I feel is worth taking. But depending on the skill sets that you have, you can create websites for people, create web templates, and much more, which might take up only a few hours after your working hours, which leaves you time to rest on the weekend. So now that we have reduced our savings and increased our income, the big question now is, what do I invest in? So there are many different instruments in the financial markets, like bonds, ETF, stocks, and mutual funds, which does different things, hold different risks, and give you different returns as well. So the first step to helping you make the decision on what to invest in is to have a goal in mind. Though this can sound pretty serious and heavy, but trust me, it's a lot easier than you think. So your goal can be as simple as having a net worth of X amount by 2023, or have $100 of passive income every single month, or even things like $10,000 invested. So one thing to keep in mind here is to not get carried away by looking at $1 million and feel dejected. And something that I learned through my investment journey is that learning to break down the bigger goals into smaller ones, so once we achieve those smaller goals, we get motivated to start achieving more as time comes, which is a really good motivator. And hypothetically, if I were to start investing in 2022 right now, my portfolio would be very different from what I have now because times are very different as well. So let's say if you're starting out with maybe $1,000, I would split them 50-50 into a broad-based ETF and bonds because the rates right now are just too attractive. So $500 can go into something like a government-backed bond like Singapore Savings Bond, which pays you roughly 3.2% in interest per year, which nets you roughly $16 or $8 every 6 months, and thus give you some cash flow. And right now, the interest for these bonds is at the highest it's ever been and might even go higher. But since we are just starting out, we can capitalize on this right now. So the other $500 can be placed into a broad market index fund or an ETF like VOO if you're in the US market. But if you prefer stability, STI ETF or ES3 is an ETF to consider in the Singapore market as well, although the acronym always get mistaken as seriously terrible index. So you must be wondering why invest in an ETF and not an individual stock. This is because with an ETF, you are spreading your risk across multiple businesses, across multiple industries as well, which can reduce the risk for someone who is starting out in investing. And investing in a single stock right now can be viable as well, but this increases the risk because you have to pick on really good companies, and picking a winner within a huge market of companies, it's pretty tough. So for example, VOO consists of the top 500 performing stocks in the US, which includes Google, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Tesla, and much more, all in one ETF. Which means you own a little bit of the top 500 companies with a small price of $350. So as compared to purchasing Apple stock, you might get more Apple shares, but if the price of Apple slumps, this will affect your portfolio. But with an ETF, because of so many companies in one ETF, the price movement of the ETF isn't as huge as owning a single stock. So with all that said and done, the last and final piece of the puzzle is finding which broker to use. So right now we have many options like Moomoo, TigerBrokers, IBKR, Webull, FSM, and SyfeTrade. So with so many choices here, it's really confusing and it makes us spoiled for choices. So in my own books, the best broker is one that gives you the lowest fees. It's regulated by MAS, which means that they have a license to operate here in Singapore, and they have a fewer or lower chance of closing down or doing rug pull. So personally, I'm using TigerBrokers and SyfeTrade right now because of the different functions that each of these brokers provide. So on TigerBrokers, I hold majority of the single stocks that I own. So all these are for capital appreciation because they were the only one available when I started investing. So no doubt we can invest with banks and all, but they all do charge an arm and leg in terms of fee. So back then, TigerBroker was charging like $1 per trade for the US market as compared to a bank like Standard Chartered who was charging $10 per trade. But right now, with more competitors coming in, I find that SyfeTrade is one of the better ones for beginners starting out because they have fractional shares, which means you can purchase half a share or half an ETF if you do not have enough capital for the full share or the full ETF. This gives us two benefits because we can fully utilize our capital to invest, and any dividends that we receive can be fully reinvested, allowing us to compound our money at a much faster rate. So SyfeTrade currently provides 2 free trades a month, I think, but by planning out your purchases, this can allow you to take advantage of the free trades. What SyfeTrade gives in free trades, they do not support in options trading right now, which is why I use TigerBrokers to hold my individual stocks so that I can accumulate stocks or to do cover costs in the future, which could be another stream of income. So I do hope this video has helped you in some way of figuring out how to start your own investment journey. Links will be in the description down below where you can get some bonuses when you sign up with my links. Otherwise, you can always easily Google for their sign up page. And if you haven't, I'll greatly appreciate if you drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, stay safe, invest safe, and I'll see you in the next one.